All right, let's dive into something pretty interesting today.
Okay.
Manifestation. Have you heard about that?
Oh yeah, manifestation.
It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of buzz around it.
Yeah. And you sent over this Mastering Manifestation episode
Mm-hmm.
for the Mind Mining podcast.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It is. And I got to tell you, the title alone, really got me intrigued,
Yeah.
turning your thoughts into reality. I mean,
It's a powerful idea.
who hasn't thought about that?
Right.
Just thinking your way to a better job or a new relationship.
Exactly. Or just a better life in general.
Exactly. So I'm really curious to kind of unpack this whole thing with you.
Yeah, let's break it down.
I'm a little skeptical, I got to admit, but I'm also super curious.
Well, I think, a healthy dose of skepticism is always good.
Yeah.
Especially with these kinds of things, right?
For sure.
But what's really interesting is that this find mining episode
Yeah.
kind of tackles that head on.
Yeah.
They talk about the skepticism. They talk about some of the maybe misconceptions around manifestation.
Okay.
And it really tries to ground it in a way that makes sense.
Okay, so what jumped out at you then when you were listening to it?
Well, right away,
Yeah.
the host, Sid, he asked this question.
Okay.
Can you really think your way to a better job?
Right.
A new relationship? Like
Yeah.
I said, a whole new life.
Exactly.
And that's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
Is this really possible?
Right. Is this too good to be true?
Exactly. So I think that's where we need to start, is
Okay.
unpacking that, what is the truth behind this?
Okay, so how do we even approach that?
Well, I think it's important to recognize
Yeah.
that, manifestation, it can sound a little
Yeah.
woo-woo, right?
It does, yeah.
But at its core,
Yeah.
it's really about the power of positive thinking
Okay.
and the belief that our thoughts can actually shape our reality.
Okay.
And this isn't a new idea.
Okay.
Think about the placebo effect
All right.
in medicine, right?
Yeah.
People, their beliefs about a treatment
Yeah.
can actually have a real impact on their physical health.
It's true.
Or think about athletes who use visualization techniques
Oh, yeah, for sure.
to improve their performance. They're literally imagining themselves succeeding,
Mm-hmm.
and that helps them achieve their goals.
So, okay, so it's more than just wishing on a star.
Right.
It's this mental aspect to it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about harnessing the power of your mind.
Okay, so where does this whole thoughts becoming reality thing?
Right.
Actually, where does that fit in?
Well, that's where things get a little more, out there.
Yeah.
But, Sid talks about some practical tips
Okay,
in the
yeah.
mind mining episode. He talks about, things like gratitude journaling.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask about that.
Okay.
Yeah, because you mentioned aligning your vibrations
Yes.
with what you want to attract, and I'm kind of lost on that one.
Okay, yeah, the vibrations, that's one of those terms you hear a lot
Yeah.
in manifestation circles.
Okay.
And it can sound a little
Yeah, a little out there.
out there, right?
Yeah.
But essentially what it refers to is the energy
Okay.
that we put out into the world.
Okay.
And the idea is that, by focusing on gratitude,
Mm-hmm.
literally writing down what you're thankful for,
Okay.
you start to shift your energy
Okay.
to a more positive frequency,
Okay.
which in theory helps you attract more good things.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I could see how, if you're putting out positive energy,
Right.
you're
yeah.
probably going to attract more positive things.
It's like the law of attraction, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Attracts.
But hold on, if it were that easy,
right.
wouldn't we all be like millionaires?
Yeah.
Lounging on yachts.
Exactly. And that's where, the
Yeah.
critical thinking piece comes in.
Okay.
Manifestation isn't a magic wand.
Okay.
It's not just about thinking positive thoughts.
Right.
And poof.
Yeah.
Everything you want magically appears.
Yeah.
It takes work. It takes action.
Okay.
Sid uses the analogy of a gardener
Yeah.
planting a seed.
Okay.
You can't just visualize a beautiful flower
Right.
and expect it to bloom without, watering it,
Yeah.
giving it sunlight,
Right.
weeding out the negativity that might hinder its growth.
Okay.
It's the same with manifestation.
So positive thinking's important,
Yes,
but you still got to put in the work.
absolutely.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I was thinking wait, if I just think about it, it's going to happen.
right.
But there's got to be more to it.
There's got to be more.
Yeah, okay.
It's about aligning your thoughts,
Okay.
your beliefs, and your actions.
Right.
They all have to be working together.
He also talked about limiting beliefs, right?
Yes, he did.
Because that's something I'm constantly battling with.
Right.
And I can be my own worst enemy sometimes.
Well, we all have those limiting beliefs, right?
Yeah.
Those negative thoughts and assumptions that hold us back.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not good enough.
Exactly.
Or I'll never be able to do that.
Yeah, I'm not worthy.
Yeah, yeah. And they're so hard to shake.
They're really ingrained. But Sid suggests actively challenging those beliefs,
Okay.
replacing them with more positive affirmations.
Okay, how do you do that?
Well, it's about becoming aware of those negative thoughts
Okay.
when they come up,
Okay.
and then consciously choosing to reframe them.
Okay.
So instead of saying, I can't do this,
Yeah.
you say, I'm capable of learning and growing.
Okay.
It's about shifting your mindset.
So like catching yourself when you have that negative thought
Exactly.
and then flipping it around.
Flipping it around
Okay.
to a more positive, empowering statement.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
And he even shares a personal story
Oh, really?
about how he overcame his own limiting belief
Okay.
about public speaking,
Oh, wow.
which I thought was really inspiring.
It's always good to hear those personal anecdotes.
Yeah, it makes it more relatable, right?
Yeah, for sure, because it's like, okay, this isn't just some theory.
Right.
It's like he's actually done this.
Exactly.
Okay, so to kind of like bring this all together,
Yeah.
it sounds like manifestation is more of a mindset shift
Yes.
combined with consistent action
Absolutely.
rather than just like wishing and
It's
hoping.
not a passive process.
Okay, so it's active.
It's active.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really helpful.
Yeah, and I think, the big takeaway here is that if our thoughts can actually influence our reality,
Mm-hmm.
even in subtle ways,
Yeah.
it makes you really think about the choices we make,
Wow. Yeah.
the actions we take every day.
It puts a lot of responsibility on us, doesn't it?
It does.
Because it's like, okay, if my thoughts are shaping my reality,
Yeah,
I need to be really mindful of what I'm thinking.
exactly. Are we feeding those limiting beliefs, or are we nurturing the thoughts and
Yeah.
the behaviors
Right.
that will lead us towards what we truly want?
That's a big question.
It is.
And that's something I'm going to have to like ponder for a while.
I think we all do.
Yeah, for sure.
An ongoing process.
This deep dive has been amazing. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me.
I've learned so much.
Good, I'm glad.
And I'm really intrigued by this whole gratitude journaling thing.
Yeah, it's a powerful tool.
I might have to give that a try.
I encourage you to.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll manifest my dream job by next week.
Well, maybe not next week, but
Baby steps. Baby steps.
keep us posted on your manifestation journey.
I will.
It's all about taking those small steps
Yeah.
and seeing where they lead.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
It was my pleasure.
And thank you for listening to this deep dive
Yes, thank you.
into the world of manifestation.
It's been a fascinating one.
We hope you found it as insightful and engaging as we did.
Absolutely.
And remember, your thoughts have power,
They do.
so choose them wisely.
Choose them wisely.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.